back to the TuVues podcast, everybody. So excited, so excited to be with y'all today with another new topic. We know it's been a while, but we excited to be back with something new and fresh.
Trying to tell you what's up, Kev G in the building, Dr. Davis in the building. We back. You know, I didn't know how we do it, how it's about to go. TuVues podcast. Man, it feel good to be back though. I mean, I know last time we did the NCAA like we always do. We're gonna run that back, but it feel good to get back to having like real topics, real discussions about things that might be important. Well, not might be, is important to everybody. So it's good to get back to talking. You feel me?
Yep, yes, sir. Welcome back, everybody, and thank y'all for welcoming us back, and thank y'all for everybody that's viewing with us again. Sorry for our hiatus, but yeah, we here.
For sure. So we usually start off with Kev G's top five, but if you watch the last episode, you'll know we got a new segment. Keith, what's that new segment for me? You don't remember, do you?
What the hook gonna be?
You feel me? All right, so what the hook gonna be? Here's what happens and what the hook gonna be, right? So I'm gonna play some instrumentals. What Keith got to do is drop he got to drop the hook. He got to give me the chorus, right? If he give me the name of the instrumental, cool. But I want him to give me that hook, right? I'm not gonna tell him during this podcast if he's right or wrong. But you at home, you that watching this they're watching this on YouTube. If you're on list of Apple Pod or whatever, you're gonna be able to know the answers. Hit us up, we'll tell you. But if you watch this on YouTube, the titles or whatever the song is gonna be at the bottom. All right, so you will know what it is. He won't know though. He won't know until he watch this again if he watch it. All right, cool. You ready, Doc?
Right, let's go. Let's get it.
Here we go. First one. Let me get to it here. Okay. Hopefully this is connected.
Playing from iPad.
I know you want to thing.
What's the hook, baby?
Got you. Ready?
Yep.
Baby, these are the times we always for. This moment will last me so much more. You don't have to do a thing at all. We can make love or not. No. I got part of it.
Okay. All right, so let's see. Who sing that though? Tell us
Drew
who sing
Hill.
it, though. What's the song? You got the song?
These are the times.
Okay, keep saying that was Drew Hill. These are the times. Y'all see at home what it is. We'll see if he get it right or not, right? We'll see if he get it right or not. All right, so let's roll to number 2. All right, so let me tell you this too, right? So today I have 2 R&B, I have 2 rap. So that's gonna give you a little insight on what to decide on what each one is. All right.
Okay.
So
all right.
one of each, right? So let me do it the easy one. Like, I don't know if it's easy, but let's see.
Playing from iPad.
Head is out. You already know what this is.
Then I'll be mad.
Meet you at the crossroads so you won't be lonely. So you won't be lonely. This is Uncle Charlie, Little Boo and guys got him. And I'm gonna miss everybody out on road and blowing my gauge. Yeah, boy. Crossroads, Bone Thugs Harmony.
All right, that's number 2. That's number 2. All right. That's number 2. You sure you got that one right? You sure?
I'm 100%. You know,
okay.
You know, we Bone Thugs and Harmony enthusiasts.
Okay. Now let's see if you get these next 2 right.
Okay.
I don't know why you wouldn't. I'm play the rap one. Let me tell you which one they are. Okay, here we go.
This is Tyrese. Sweet lady. Sweet lady, won't you be my sweet love for a lifetime? I'll be there if you need me. Just call and receive me. La la. Any other day, I was in love. Because I want you, and I heard that.
All right, man. What's that one, man? What you think that one is, man?
Sweet
What you think it is?
lady Tyrese, man. Sweet lady Tyrese.
Okay, we'll see if you're right, man. We'll see if you're right, man.
You
We'll
from
see. All right.
making late
All
night
right.
phone calls on the telephone.
Last one, man. Last one.
All
I
right.
don't think you're gonna get this last one, man. I don't
Okay.
think you'll get this last one. I don't think you'll get this last one. Here we go.
I know who the.
Think about it, man. Think.
It's Pac. It's definitely Pac.
Look.
Hey, play it again, man.
It's still going to me. Let it rock.
Play it. Give me 10 more seconds of it. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I think I turn it up. It's Pac, man, but I can't get it. It's Pac. I know it's Pac.
Y'all see what it is at the crib, man. Y'all see it on the bottom of the screen. Keith didn't get the last one, man. He
I know.
guessed on the other three. Just give a guess, man. Give a guess. Give a guess.
Damn, I can't get it, man. Hold on. Come on.
Give a guess.
I can get no clue.
You don't get nothing. Know the instrumental, man.
Ambitions of a Rider.
That's your guess?
Is that Ambitions of
Can't tell you, cuz. Can't tell you, cuz. Can't tell you.
I'm going Ambitions of a Rider. Ambitions of a
Rider.
Ambitions of a Rider.
Yeah, so the first one yours was
I don't know the chorus though.
First one you guessed was what? You said Drew Hill, These Are the Times.
These are the times, yep.
Second one, you got Bone Thugs and Harmony, Crossroads. Right?
Third
one, Tyrese Sweet Lady. And the fourth one was Tupac
I'm sticking with 10
Ambitions of a Rider. Cool. And I want to make it clear. If you get one wrong, you lose this. If you get one wrong, you lose this battle.
I'm 50-50 on Ambitions of a Rider.
I'm gonna give you 2 seconds.
3.
You want to switch it, or you good?
I'm sticking with Ambitions of a Rider, Tupac.
You stick with Ambitions of a Rider. Y'all see what it is at the bottom, man. Y'all see what all these are at the bottom. Holla at him on the social media and let him know whether he's right or wrong, all right? Or he'll see it when he watches this, all right? Yeah. So, man, that's what the hook gonna be. 4 songs, 4 instrumentals. He got to give me that hook, right or wrong. Let's see if he get 100%. He got to get 100%. We don't take no 75s, no 50s. He got to get 100. He don't get 100. Womp. Take that L.
That may be 100 though, Ken.
Take that figure. It may be. I'm not saying if it is or not, but when you watch back, you'll know if it's 100 or not when you watch back. All right, you'll know. All right, so that's what the hook gonna be. The new part of this TuVues podcast. We're gonna bring KFG's top 5 back every now and again, but right now we're gonna try something a little different, a little musically here on this thing. So y'all already know what our next segment is, right? Y'all already know what it is. It's a hit or miss segment. It's a hit or miss for me.
Hit every time. I'm 100.
I'm
100%.
So this is Dr. Davis's dad joke. Y'all love this segment. I don't know why y'all love this segment so much. I don't know why people love this segment. This segment be blowing me, boy. But Dr. Davis's dad jokes. Keep, man, what you got for us, man?
All right. Here's my first one, Kev. So Elijah, I bought him
Hey,
a bike.
hold on. When you start off like that, I already know it's gonna be bad, bro. I already know it's gonna be terrible. Go ahead, man. Go.
So I bought Elijah a bike for his birthday, right? And so the bike it just kept falling over. It just kept falling over. Kickstand, no matter what, it was kept falling over, man. And then we finally figured out why, man.
Why
We
is that
finally
key?
figured out why it kept. You wanna know why? You don't know? It was
Nope.
too tired.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Here my last one for you, though.
Wow.
G.
No.
So-
Wait. Don't. No, wait. Don't jump. Don't jump yet. All I'm gonna say is, wow. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead.
so this macaroni noodle.
You already doing that when you start laughing, though.
This macaroni noodle came out to this other group and was like, "I'm a spaghetti noodle." The spaghetti noodle's like, "You ain't no spaghetti noodle. You a macaroni noodle." He like, "No, I'm a spaghetti noodle." Right? So the Linguini came up and said, "You an imposter."
Oh man. Oh man.
All right, man. Hey, man.
Woo. Hey, his goal in this Dr. Davis dad joke is trying to get me to laugh. Y'all heard them too.
Hey, the first one you laughed.
No, I didn't. I looked
Yes, you
away from the
did.
screen. You know what I laugh at the most, though? I laugh at your setups. Your setups be outrageous. Because setups be outrageous, bro.
Because you got to set up. So if you read the joke about the bike regular out or the pasta joke regular out, it's like, but if you it's about the setup. Man, I learned that from the late great Bernie Mac.
He taught you personally, man. Gone.
Personally,
He ain't teach you these dad
I was
jokes.
his apprentice. I'm here all
All
day.
right, man. That was Dr. Davis's two dad jokes, man. Let me just say, it wasn't his best two. I can tell you that. He's had some decent ones. Very few.
Hey,
very few.
But that one was with lack of research. I'm gonna do my homework next time.
Yeah, do your homework. I please.
No kid, man. That he was an
Do
imposter.
your homework.
He was an imposter.
And that's what blows me too is that you keep saying it like it's gonna make it any better.
Hey, but guess
it
what?
Get worse and worse every time you say it.
That bike kept falling because he was too tired.
All right, man. That was Dr. Davis's dad jokes. Hit him up. Let me know what you think, man. If you got any for him, send him a few dad jokes, man. Hook him up, man, because pretty sure y'all out there got some better ones than what he got.
Even if it ain't, you don't think it's that funny, and you just need somebody who can set it up. I got you. I even give you credit for you. I'll shout you out as I do your dad joke, and I'll set it up. Send me some dad jokes. I got y'all.
Please send him some dad jokes. All right, man. Dr. Davis, that's his dad jokes,
But you know what, though,
man.
Kev?
What up?
He was an imposter. I quit. All right, I quit. All right.
Oh man! Before we get into this topic, man, I want to say shout out to Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Season coming up next week. Let's go. We picked our quarterback. Let's go. Let's make it happen, man. Let's finish the job. It's time to finish the job, man. No, we're just gonna let Michigan be cheaters. They're gonna cheat on us and cheat and make their way through. Try to play nobody and make their way back. Right. So, we'll see what happens.
Are you done? You done? I got bored. You talking about Notre Dame? Got kind of
Your
sleep.
camera just went off. I didn't see your.
No, I turned it off because I take a quick nap. I had to take a quick nap.
Hey, y'all
Go
some
blue.
cheaters.
Go blue.
Y'all cheated and got away with it. I ain't
Once
mad because y'all
again,
got away with it.
y'all got. I'm a stand on this. People could talk about all they want. That team still beat 5 top 10s after that. Now that's skill.
Hey, y'all got away with it. That's all I'm saying. I ain't mad because y'all got away with it. I'm not.
All right,
I'm not saying y'all have answers. I don't care.
I want you to answer a question for all of you in the audience. This is the only question I want you to answer. I want an honest answer, okay? Deal?
Yep. I only give honest answers, cuz.
Who was the best football team NCAA in 2023? Your opinion.
Let me think about that year. It was probably Bama.
Was better than Michigan?
Georgia. Georgia was good. Georgia just lost to Bama, and that killed them that year. I thought Georgia was the best team that year. Key, you not hear what I'm saying though. Regardless if y'all won or not, I'm not saying y'all ain't the champions. I'm not saying this should be an asterisk. I don't believe in asterisks anyway. But y'all cheated, cuz y'all got away with it. I ain't mad at y'all. Y'all got away with it. Y'all got $30,000, but your coach got an extra game though too. He got an extra game.
Between the Notre Dame and Ohio State fans, y'all get on my nerves.
I said y'all. I'm giving y'all credit for
hate
winning,
us
bro.
that much, but y'all couldn't beat us.
Listen, I hate y'all with a passion. You don't even understand how much I hate y'all.
Question:
Okay,
could Notre Dame have beat Michigan that year? Absolutely not.
Question: could Notre Dame have beat Michigan? Have beat Notre Dame last year?
Yes.
Boy. Okay.
All right, man.
Okay. Y'all was 8-5. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Won 4 more games. I thought we was gonna win.
And look what we did to get to the championship. I'm just saying, man. Today, man, I just think this is gonna be a good year. It's like I told y'all before, things evened out around college football. I don't care what nobody say. I'm balanced out, so we'll see. Texas ain't winning though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Arch Manning is overrated, bro. Overrated. Calling it right now. He's overrated. Anyway, man, let's get to this topic. This should be a good one. This should be one that where it's personal, right? And it's also I wouldn't even call it controversial, man, but I think it's gotten so diluted, so twisted that people are confused. The people we're talking about to talk about are confused, and you can see it everywhere. Social media, walking down the street, you can see where the people we're about to reference here, in lack of better words, done lost their way. In lack of better words, right? People have So today we're gonna be unpacking Black Masculinity. Black Masculinity. But before we do that, man, I want to start off by playing something. Anthony Mackie was on the Pivot. Shout out to the Pivot, man. If you don't watch the Pivot, I think the Pivot is the best podcast out there right now. Because they go beyond sports, they go beyond entertainment. They make it personal. They make it about life. In the conversations they have, they give you value. There's value in their conversations, right? It ain't just about some one-off stuff. It's actually motivational to a certain point. But they had Anthony Mackie on the Pivot, and he said something that sparked a lot of outrage, and he got a lot of heat for saying this. And I want to start off by saying, Kev G 100% agrees with Anthony Mackie. 100%. So anybody that was against him or mad at him for saying what he said, I don't care. 100% agree with him. Not one inkling he said that I am against, right? So I'm going to play this. Key thing, I don't think you heard him say this yet, but
it'd be my first time hearing this, so I'll give my unfiltered opinion for my first time hearing.
So you got it. I'll start off by opening.
Hold on, let me get to the right one. Should have had it already queued.
I keep my boys humble. Like my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like your kids. And no, I don't give a, I could be the biggest star in the world. do not let me catch you being stupid. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he's going to straighten the other ones out. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open a door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night. This alarm is on. You text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, but jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, you know? And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
All right, that's what ethnic. Go ahead.
Time out. People felt offended by that,
Bro.
it sounded like he was talking about me with KJ and Elijah.
Bro. Caleb,
right.
Bro, I'll get into it, man. Caleb is on the ASD and had ADHD. And guess what? Those things Anthony Mackie talk about, same thing. But people were offended, I guess, because he attacked masculinity in the homes in America.
No, I think they offended for another reason, but we'll get into it.
All right, we definitely gonna get into it, right, man? So we're gonna start this thing off and unpack this thing called masculinity, but we're gonna tie it into the black culture, right? Because from the beginning of American history, black masculinity has been attacked. It's not a new thing. It's been limited. It's not a new thing, right? So let's talk about the history of the identity of a black masculine man or black masculinity. Let's dive a little deep, historian.
Yeah. So when we think about black masculinity, we're talking about the ethos, the methods in which we as African American men display our manhood, right? How we express our manhood, and the components that are shaped by that, like the components that help shape that, right? And we have to understand that there are a lot of societal reasons that has been shaped and why it's been so malleable, and also the historical reasons. So if we go back to our ancestors who came here from West Africa on slave ships, to do the bidding of a group who felt like they were superior and we were inferior. One way that they would control this group of people was not only by location, right? So most slaves didn't know where they were, right? And so it's hard to escape or fight when you don't know where you are, but by removing the ingrained masculinity and societal masculine strengths of the African man from the African American culture or the slavery culture, right? And so you have buck breaking, right? And I'm not going to go in depth that. You want to know what buck breaking is? You can look it up. It's one of the most inhumane things that ever been done to a group of people. But the goal of these different methods of torture, of control, that's more about control than it was torture. It was made in the belief that if you can break down the masculinity and strength of the black male, that you can control the people,
right? And this is because we're coming from a society or a world that at the time and still today is very patriarchal, very masculine in its viewpoints, in its beliefs. And so there was a belief that in order to control this group of people is to destroy the masculine nature of the man within that community or within that group of people. And so it was done various ways. It was done by destroying the family, taking about transferring slaves from one side of the country or one side of the state or wherever, breaking it from the country. It was about making slaves. Like they basically were baby factories to create more slaves, and it was all about creating a subservient attitude of these individuals in order to be able to control them, right? And so black masculinity has been in flux since we've been in America, right? It has been redefined every decade, and that's being nice saying decade because it gets defined every day, really, if you look at it. And so it is one of the only elements of masculinity that society seems to think is malleable, right? That you can mold it and change it to fit whatever narrative to keep this group subservient. And so that's why as a people and as a culture and as a black man, masculinity is always a question and in flux, is because it was intended to be in flux by those who wish to control. um and now people perpetuate that. And so the history of it is simple, that black masculinity has always been played around with, toyed with, attempted to be molded. All right. And the reason why I think this is very important to talk about, and the reason why this topic is coming about, is because the wrong people are trying to define black masculinity. Right? There's too many irons in the fire to try to define who we are. Right? What's masculine in us? And I won't go far in deep because I'm not how far your question is going to go, but I want to talk about that pivot. We're going deep because the reason why the people being mad about the pivot, Kevin, is the reason why we're having this topic. Reason why we're talking about this, because you're upset trying to define black masculinity for a black man. We definitely gonna get into that. That's why you're upset, because honestly, and another part I do want to get to, and I'll just bring it up and we can talk about it later, is that also I think people heard what Anthony Mackie said and assumed that he was attacking the LGBTQIA community and or perpetuating some stigmas that we have in the African American community towards that community, towards that community. But in fact, that's not what he's saying, right? That he this isn't about for him. It wasn't about feminine qualities versus, or it wasn't about. He wasn't specifically diverging the two. I don't want to say feminine qualities because that's not right. But he wasn't trying to create a divergence of
between male and female. No,
male and female.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
like,
he wasn't trying to create that divergence. He was saying that regardless of who my kids are, these are the qualities that I want to define their masculinity. Now, for instance, I'm just throwing this out there. For instance, let's say it happens to be that one of his sons is gay, right? That's a part of the LGBTQI community, right? He still would expect his son to protect
things,
to make sure his mom's taken care of. I still expect that from KJ and Elijah. I don't care what route they take or what they do or what choices they make as far as their sexuality, all that. At the end of the day, there's just some qualities of my young man that I'm going to expect. Mom is going to come first. right? Mom is the one we're going to protect, right? We're going to protect our house. Like those are just the qualities that he sees in the masculinity of his kids, right? Regardless of what other choices they make. And that's what I think the crux of it. I think a lot of people are mad because of that. I think they read into that the wrong way. But also, who are you to define who are you to define our masculinity? So So I know we'll go deeper into that, but I just had to say that. those 2 points, I 100% agree. I want to add a third point of why I think they were kind of mad. Then I'm go back to this history part. Is I think people are also upset because it sounded like, not to me, right? Because I 100% agree. It sounded like he doesn't allow his kids to find their own identity.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds that way, right? And people in this day and age feel like kids need to have a voice. Hey, let me be clear. My son has a voice, but guess what? There's a voice behind his voice. Tell you that right. There's a voice behind his voice. And when he becomes an adult, he'll have his own. But there's a voice behind his voice. And I feel like some people felt like he doesn't allow his kids the ability to be their own person. And that's not what he was saying either. Right. But let me go back to this history thing. And I want to talk
Before you get
to
to history, let me
Go
just
ahead.
jump off just kind of jump on real quickly of what you just said. That's very important to understand because that voice is to guide. That voice isn't to control. It's to guide, right? We those of us who are unapologetically Christian, we talk about God's voice, guide, and the Holy Spirit guiding us. That being a guiding voice in our life. He's just guiding his kids. They can make the KJ and Elijah can make a decision, but who would I be as a father if I'm not assisting and guiding them and helping them become the men they want to that I hope they become. Right. So I'm
100%
sorry, I
agree.
just have to bring it up. We all we follow voice all the time, and now we don't believe his sons have a voice because he's guiding them. I mean, man, society got to give me a break.
Yeah. Hey, I would die on this hill. I would I would die on this hill about what we're talking about right now. There's nothing that can take me off this hill. I'll die on it. So let me go back to this history thing, and I want I don't want to really talk directly with women, but I just want women to hear something about this history thing. Let's go back. We're gonna talk about from the moment we were brought over here on slave ships. Um, the first thing they kind of did was separate the family. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They separate the family. What they also did was denigrate men in front of the women. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right in front of them. Right? What they constantly did they tried to do a thing to where in a woman's eye they looked at that man different, and if that man felt like his wife or that woman looked at him different, they created a confidence thing in him, right? So what they did was create a mental picture, a mental weakness in all of us, right, or all of them, to see each other in a different way, to see a man as weak and try to build a consciousness in a woman to see that man as weak and like, look what we doing. All right, so let's keep on moving forward. That's the slave era, right? Let's go to Jim Crow. When you look at those slave pictures, who are the most of the people hanging from them trees? Men. You see a lot of men hanging, right? So when women walk by and see that man hanging from a tree, makes the black men look kind of weak, right? They couldn't even fend these white men off, and cool. Let's move back and let's keep moving to the 70s and 80s, right? Crack epidemic and all that, and and even to the present, how many black men are in jail. It creates a narrative that black men don't take care of their families and their fathers and they're bad men. And it forces in all these areas, it forces the women to look at the black man in a negative light. So from the beginning until now, everything that's happening towards black men, and I'm not saying like people are just so bad right now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to show a history that the entire process was to denigrate men and put a vision or a consciousness in the woman's mind to see the man in a certain light. And what I think what's happened over time is, I mean, I speak for all women. I mean, I speak for any women. What I think is that consciousness started to stick, and a lot of women began to look at men that way, and their expectation for men started to flounder and wander, and they didn't expect, and they created these different bubbles for what a man's supposed to be, and that's why I think right now you see a lot of women, and I'm gonna get to this, a lot of women trying to tell men how they should be, and I'm gonna get to the problem with that. All right. But I think you see a lot of women, they have expectations. So this is not about a woman's expectation in a man. This is not that. I'm talking about how you see them. How you see them, not your expectation. Because everybody should have an expectation for the person they want to be with. What you want from a person, I will honestly say don't veer from that, right? But all men ain't dogs. Cool? Right? That saying, I hate it. Right? And we said all women were something or we'll get ridiculed, killed. But that it's always all men are this, all black men are that, all black men are that. To me, that's had to stop. But what that stems from, where that comes from, is history. Everything that was done to the black man across history was to make them look bad in the woman's mind. The only way to get away from that is for the women not to accept that. But as we go farther in the discussion, there's the bigger job is on us, fellas. The bigger job is on us.
That's what I was going to
Get
say.
to it. We'll get to it.
That's what I was going to say, and the reason I was going to get to that because, it's when we are allowed as black men, and I'll even generalize as men as in general, but really black men to be the definers of our masculinity, right? Then we'll see more change, right? So how many times have we heard, oh, he crying, he weak, right? How many times have we heard comments that have questioned the masculinity of the black man, which in any other culture wouldn't be questioned, right? In any other culture, it just simply wouldn't be questioned. But if a black man exhibits what others believe is a characteristic unbecoming, it makes them weak or less masculine. And that's not fair. Like, right, you don't see any other culture, right? Any other culture's masculinity being defined by someone else outside of their culture.
But do you think that's because of experience, the experience people witness, or how that culture handled things?
Explain.
Think experience. So, like I was just talking about the history over time, things were set up to make black men look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You think in those other cultures, their men wasn't set up to. Their men was always set up to look like the leader, the provide. They were always set up to look like that. So in those other cultures, the mindset of a woman, the mindset of a child, the mindset of people around sees that man, he's the leader of that household because their culture, their experience says that. Our culture and our experience don't say that.
Oh, I 100% agree with you because I think when you talk about the historical context, I think one thing people forget to remember is that the reason why, and maybe a lot of people don't know this, the reason why it may have been so effective, right? What happened to us throughout history is the fact that unlike most cultures in the world, a lot of West African cultures were matriarchal, right? They were matriarchal, and so when you have the foundation of Big Mama or the village mother, right, who is like the wise, you still had the male kings, but you had the
the male tribal leaders, but you had that wise woman who actually was the foundation of the village, which we virtually call Big Mama now, right? And now you have these matrilineal societies where even like wealth will transfer through the female line, right? And now it played. I think it used that as a mechanism to strengthen what they were trying to do. They knew the value, right, of the black woman in African society and used that to an advantage to question black masculinity, right? And so it is becoming becoming of us because at the end of the day, nobody will ever admit this because you never hear anybody say this about it. We talk about it. OMC talks about it. The committee talks about it. But you see a huge decrease in absentee fathers in the black community. Never discussed, never shared. Data's never shared. You see a ton of black great fathers who are raising young, great black men who didn't have fathers growing up. And it's never discussed, right? The prestige and the greatness of black masculinity and the black male is never, I know you should never say never, but never celebrated. I'll say Never celebrated, right? And so, like I said before, there's so many people questioning, attacking, and trying to define what it means for us to have our black masculinity. But you're right, though, it's a cultural thing where that's been established. But I think they played off a strength that we had as a culture in West Africa, 100% sure. and they use that to their advantage to control our ancestors. And so now we got to figure out how to bounce back from that, because now it's incumbent upon us to address it. I'm not letting anybody define my masculinity. And once again, like you said, I 100% agree with everything Anthony Mackie said. Yeah, and one of the biggest thing about this that I just hate with a passion that I always hated, and I actually on social media, if I saw it, I would unfollow that person and I wouldn't deal with it. And you don't never see no other culture doing this, bro. And I'm glad I don't see it as much as I used to, because I do feel like a lot of our circle, we have solid fathers, solid uncles, solid coaches in our circle, so we don't see it as much. But I used to hate when people used to say, "I'm the mother and the father, so happy Father's Day to me." You don't see no other culture saying that, bro. Like I don't see any other culture saying that but ours. Like, and they used to burn me because it's like, you tell me ain't no male in your kid's life that you can praise on that day. Not one. Not a pastor, not an uncle, not a
Mentor.
dude on the street. Like no father you could thank during that day instead of saying that. Let a dude say that on Mother's Day, boy, it'll be World War 83. I mean, so, but I'm finna jump around on these bullets though, man. Cause
and that doesn't negate the greatness of the the greatness of the black woman. I am in awe of my mom and every other black woman in my life. Their fortitude, their strength, their passion, their compassion, just greatness exudes from it just. And so it's not negating that, but man, it's some great black masculine men doing some great things.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with you about the black woman and the black woman we have in our lives. But they done so much great stuff, right? And it's so much wonderful things. And it seems over time, and I get why, it seems to overshadow the greatness of some of the fathers, because it was a lot of people like the fathers weren't there. So it seems to overshadow it. And when you get to Father's Day and stuff like that, I don't think, and just me talking, I don't think the black male get his due. Some black males shouldn't get their due, right? 'Cause some of y'all bumps, and I'm gonna get to y'all. Some of y'all some straight bumps. I call y'all F boys. I'm not gonna tell y'all what the F stand for on here, but some of y'all some straight bums. Y'all act like y'all do stuff and y'all don't do nothing. And it is sad that these mothers have to raise these kids solo, especially in this day and age, right? But man, I just want those fathers, those black men, those black masculine men. We're gonna get back to the masculine side of this. Those black masculine men that do what they're supposed to do to get the right recognition. Like I fight for that, right? I fight for coaches, fathers, uncles that step in and do like to get the right recognition. Father's Day, the church I used to go to on Father's Day was the biggest event they did at the church. The biggest event they did at the church, right? Because I know they based off God the Father, but they did a big event for Father, and I feel like, yes, Mother's Day should be big, right? But there's no reason why Father's Day should be an afterthought, and that's just me talking. That's just KFG talking. You ain't gotta agree with me. I just don't feel like Father's Day should be an afterthought for nobody. We should get together as fellas, go to a baseball game or a football game or whatever happened in the summer with our kids. Like we should do stuff like that and truly celebrate that day. But man, let's jump back into these bullet points unless you got something to say.
Yeah, I was even thinking about how Kurt and them used to do the Father's Day picnic and barbecue for the kids and have the water balloon fights. But you know, I mean, and maybe we're sending out a charge to everybody within listening ears of this to let's make next Father's Day. It doesn't have to be buying stuff. Let's make it about going all out honoring the male mentor leaders in life. I mean, this is a charge, right? To just make it bigger than ever, right? But I do, when we talk about black masculinity, Kev, I think the reason why it's so difficult for people, and I'm gonna talk about. I want to make this very clear on what I'm saying, is that the reason why it's so difficult for us is because we have diverse expressions, and I think you're gonna kind of get to this a little later. We have diverse. I'm gonna put it in my phrase first. We have diverse expressions with diverse expressions competing with linear expectations, right? And so we have a variety of ways that we individually express our masculinity. And no one masculinity is the same as the next, right? But society makes black masculinity linear. This is let's put it in this box. Let's put it on this line, right? When we're the branches on a tree, right? Like infinite, like hairs on your head. It is masculinity, and there's so many different versions and abilities and understandings of black masculinity, but society has created this linear definition of black masculinity and are pigeonholing us to it. Other people are defining who we are.
So, with what you just said about the linear and all that, and we can get to this in a second, but do you think there still has to be a foundation?
Right, but that's why I say we're a tree, right? A tree with various branches, a head with various hairs. There's still a head, there's still a trunk, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you don't get to trim our tree, right?
Agree.
You don't get to cut our hair.
I don't want to fade. I'm stick with the curls.
You don't get to do that, right? Because even when you try to do that, that might and this is going. I don't know if you go in this direction, but this plays a big part in black men's mental health. People defining our masculinity has a direct effect on black men's mental health.
Let's jump to that bullet point, man. Who gets to define our masculinity? Who gets to define our masculinity?
Us. It is so that this, you know what, that's an important question, but ain't it the simplest answer,
right? It's like, why? See what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying when I say it's the simplest answer is what I'm saying is why has society made that a question, right? For us, right? Nobody else has to question, no other culture has to question who defines their masculinity. Right? That why is that a question for us? Because other people believe they can choose that. And I'm not when I'm talking about other people, I'm talking about black, white. I'm talking about everybody, men, women. Everybody is trying to
gay,
define
straight.
what black masculinity is. How about this? This is simple for me. How about you ask us?
So right there. Let me say right there. First of all, I'm gonna say everything that Anthony Mackie said in that and on the pivot was foundational.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was all foundational, and from there you go from where you go. But right there, you said ask us. So this is where the problem I have, and it stems to the same thing. Who can they ask? So that's gonna pull us back a little bit, right? Let's step back a little bit into I know knowing self, right? And my big thing is if we want people to ask us what defines black masculinity, who are we? We gotta know what we're talking about. And the only way for you to know, for you as a black man to know what black masculinity is to have had somebody pour that into you or learn through experience, right? So what am I saying? Somebody outside of our culture or a woman or whatever can't come up to me and ask me about black masculinity if I don't know about the topic. If I haven't been surrounded by the right people to pour what that is into me. And see, that's the problem. So many of us men surround ourselves. Our circle isn't beneficial for that story. Our circle isn't beneficial to answer that question, right? So for me, the key thing is who's in your ear. What person, what man has told you or guided you on what black masculinity is, and whatever they've said is going to be the outcome of how you depict it and understand it. So if you surround yourself by F dudes, F boys, you ain't gonna be able to answer that question correctly. You're gonna be able to answer that question with a diluted, messed up thought process because you're not even taking care of your own kid, bro. How you gonna answer black masculinity? Because guess what? Not taking care of your kids is not black masculinity. It's not masculinity. Period. Period. Because that's what we do as men. We take care of our kids. That's a foundational for me. That's a foundational thing. You can't even get away from that. Like you can't even get away from it, right? But who you surround yourself with, to me, is key. Like us, key. We got the CRM, our dudes from the hood, who we surround, our brothers, or they take care of their kids, cuz they take care of their kids. They hold themselves in a certain way, in a certain light. We can ask them how to be a man. What should we do? Because guess what? A lot of us have like-minded thoughts on what that is. If somebody didn't come in our circle and don't have a like-minded thought of what black masculinity is, they can't be a part of this circle. So I think we lost the concept of who you getting your information from. I hate to say this, Keith. You can't get black masculinity or masculinity in general from anybody that's not a male and haven't lived a male experience. It's hard for instance,
it's hard for me. I'm an accountant in tax, right? It's hard for me to listen to somebody to talk to me about taxes that has a background in education. It's hard for me to think you truly know about this subject if that's not your background. It's going to be hard for me to tell a woman about womanhood and I don't live that. You get what I'm saying? So who we surround ourselves with, I think, is key to this thing.
I think it's deeper,
Go
right?
ahead.
I think it's two things that's a little deeper. I think it's not only who we're surrounding ourselves with, who are teaching us it, right? But I think you go a step lower, right? It's about not acknowledging the 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 outside noise of what black masculinity is, right? It's about like nah, you can't tell me what black masculinity is. It's not only about who's pouring into you, it's what you're willing to absorb. Because so often we go based on society. So one thing we have to do to assist in the promotion of black masculinity, and please, I hope people are understanding. I hope you don't jump in the middle of this podcast and think we're talking about
I'm not listening.
masculine men. Like that's not what masculinity is in general, right? But I think for us, we have to start promoting positive points and positive examples and representations of black masculinity, right? Because it's so often that when people share about black masculinity, it's always hit with some type of negative connotation, or it's like some doppelganger or some yin and yang, right? We should only be promoting the positive aspects, the positive expressions, the positive representation, the positive interpretations of black black masculinity. And so that's incumbent upon us. In order to do that though, you have to cut out the noise of people defining this what black masculinity is. Because if that's all those people that you're talking about are hearing from people that don't look like them or look like them, it creates a yin and yang of black masculinity, right? Like there's a evils and there's goods to black masculinity. And that's why people are so mad about this topic or mad about what Anthony Mackie says, because we've created the divide of the negatives of black masculinity and the positives of black masculinity, because we don't promote the positive representations of black masculinity. Because when people think about black masculinity, they know what they think of, Kevin? Control.
Yeah.
They think of control.
But can I ride on top of what you just said beyond what you said? Because I agree with that. We got to talk about, but also with that, those who wants to build this stronghold in this and wants to make people understand what this is, we have to be willing, as black men, have to be willing to check the negative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have to stand up and check what's not right. I can mention again, these F dudes. We have to be willing to tell your friend who ain't taking care of their kid, bro, you wrong, bro. Willing to lose a friendship to check that situation to make sure this stereotype about black masculinity doesn't go left, doesn't go negative. We can't just sit there and allow it to happen because we do it all the time. We see a dude hitting a woman outside of a store. That ain't my business. Oh no, that's got to be my business today. It's got to be, right? And you don't know what's going to happen out that situation. But that young man, whoever that is doing that, it could be a simple conversation about, hey, bro, man, come holler at me. Just talk to me for a minute about what you're doing, man. Let's have a conversation. It don't got to be raw. Let me beat them up. But if we sit there and allow certain stuff to happen and dudes not be a part of their kid's life and dudes thinking the only way to get by is to sell drugs, do this and that, and they on the street. If we sit by and actually allow it, we're part of the problem too. We're part of the problem is this negative masculinity thing, right? So we gotta do our part in checking it. And if you're not wouldn't do that, you're part of the problem, right?
One more gotta be, right? One more gotta be. You gotta be vulnerable too. If you want to change the narrative, if you want to change the outlook of society on what Black masculinity is, its effects, its ability to grow our young Black men into being effective and successful American or world citizens, you have to be vulnerable, right? You have to be willing to check yourselves and others. You have to be willing to talk about, to have the dialogue. You have to be willing to check your own mental health. You have to be willing to say, hey, this is my experience. That's where we start. We start with our own vulnerability.
And I want to do something real quick. I want to know what you consider foundations of Black masculinity or the Black male. And I'll give mine too. And like I said again, I think a lot of what Anthony Mackie said to me are foundational. Like Thomas, like that's that's not just foundational for the Black male. For me, that's foundational for the male. Period. And me and you wrote a poetry book called "The Rise and Fall of Chivalry," and you always hear that saying, "Man, chivalry dead." But it doesn't have to be, and it shouldn't be, because a lot of the things Anthony Mackie said in that clip is chivalrous, right? A lot of that is the knight's way, and that was a code that we should never have gotten away from, like holding the door for a woman. And I ain't gonna lie to you, sometimes it's hard, man. I'm not saying it's not hard for me, but it's frustrating because you can hold the door for a woman and they won't say thank you or nothing. But the purposes of you doing it is not for them, right? And also the way women have been treated over this period of time, for the longest time, especially Black women, is they've never been appreciated. They never had people do certain things for them. So thank you probably don't come easy for some people, for some women, right? And so the more you do it, though, right, the more they see, right, this like something good happening here, right? Something's good happening here, and it can change their mentality on what's going on too. But chivalry isn't dead, and I implore every man that has a son, let me start with son first, that has a son to teach them how to be chivalrous. And I want every man that has a daughter to teach teach their daughter to expect it. Expect the man to be chivalrous to you. Don't hope. Don't wish. Expect it. Right? Your sons demand it from them, and your daughters have them expect it. Because guess what? Daddy gonna do it for her. Daddy gonna hold the door for his little girl. Her brother gonna hold the door for her and her mama, right? Because that man in that family is raising up that chivalry, that foundation in this young man to be a masculine individual, in my opinion, right? So a foundation is the chivalry part of it, right? And most of chivalry, and it's also about how you carry yourself. Nothing Anthony said in there is that, like, don't make me look bad. Like, don't be out here acting a fool. We see people getting shot and killed every day because I believe fathers have allowed their kids to go out here and act a fool. Like, don't get out here and make me look bad, because I'm not going to get out here and make you look bad. I'm not here making my dad look bad. I'm not here making my brothers look bad. Now, am I saying I'm perfect? Oh, KLG ain't perfect at all. All right, I ain't perfect at all, but I'm not purposely going out here making my male role models, the people that look up to me, the people I look up to, making them look bad. Don't go out here and make me look bad. So that's the two things for me really is chivalry, 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 chivalry. And two, don't go out these doors and make me look bad. If you think it's gonna make daddy look bad, Caleb, I advise you not to do it. Because guess what? Because if daddy get a call, we got a problem. So those are two big ones for me. I mean, I got more foundational, but like you said, the branches in the tree. For me, this is the base, right? My branches probably gonna veer off from other people's.
Yeah.
They gonna veer, but my base is chivalry, and don't get out here and make me look bad.
I will tell you. It's funny when you talk about the holding the door. KJ and Elijah hold door for everybody, male, female, your ethnic group. They hold door for anybody. It's to the point, Kevin, where I gotta tell you, Elijah, sometimes like the person ain't even coming out the door yet. They may be still in there shop. Me and KJ at the car. Elijah's still over there holding the door. I'm like, Elijah, if you don't come on, but he knows that's an expectation from dad.
Yeah.
That I hold the, yeah, he knows that expectation. But my foundations are a little different. And though I agree with every foundation you said, I agree with every single one of them. The only, but I believe there was a poem. I forgot what was the poem. Sir Walter, what's his name? But it's a very a part of this poem where he says, "To thine own self be true." Foundational. Be your own man.
Don't stop listening to everybody, man.
Be your own man. Be true to who you are, how you were raised, and what ethics and ethos you have, right? Don't be easily influenced. Don't be easily corrupted, right? Foundational for me. And the second foundational pieces for me is be in tune equally with every single feeling and emotion that you can have, right? Because when you can be in tune with those things, you can put them in you're more able to put stuff into perspective, be able to navigate. I think the trouble with a lot of males and black males in particular is not being able to navigate their emotions, right? That's why in some cases where we grew up and for other society other communities, the first time you get angry you pull in a strap, right? Because you're not tuned in to your emotions, that your reactions don't embrace that, right? And so for me, to thy own self be true and be in tune with who you are emotionally, right? Your anger, your love, your passion, your compassion, your fears, your be in tune with that so that you are able to navigate it, right? And I push that on my boys all the time. Like it's I used to be, we come from a family where we don't cry, but I had to get to the point where I had to say, man, I need to tell KJ it's okay to cry, right? It's okay to be emotional, right? I say you being over emotional. No, he has a feeling, and so I just need my boy. When it comes to masculinity, and so I realized that I have to do this for myself. I have to be willing to be in tune with my in tune with my black masculinity and my masculinity in general. I have to be able to embrace every emotion. I have to be true to myself, even if that means people falling away, even if that means losing a job, even if that means losing opportunities. To thine own self be true. That's the feature of masculinity for me.
Yeah, and for me, if I just I'm talking about a few of my like branches, right? So of course the P's provide, protect, profess. Those are always going to be part of my branches. And this one where it's kind of not controversial. It's not controversial at all. It's everybody are differ on this one. Um, I'm not. You don't. you don't have to be a leader because not everything always causes you to put you in a position to be one, right? So I'm not saying in everything you do, you got to be a leader. But what you do have to do is be willing to lead.
Mm-hmm.
Two different things. Not like I said, not everything is going to cause you to be a leader. Sometimes you got to be a follower. You got to heed to certain things. But when that opportunity arises, we don't shy away from it. We don't shy away from it. We accept that challenge to be a leader when the opportunity shows itself. So be willing to lead. You don't. I'm not saying lead everything. You better be in front of every line.
Mm-hmm.
No, when the opportunity presents itself, though, like we in football, right? When we had the lines and people like who gonna be the first person in line. We're not forcing you to be the first person, but
Mm-hmm.
who's gonna be willing to get in the front of this line and put the work in? Who's gonna be the first one to hit? Because guess what? When you're in the front, you might mess up, and you don't want to be the first person to mess up in front of everybody. Leaders sometimes mess up in front of everybody. But what you got to understand is that your willingness to get in the front and take over and do what you're about to do, that should always be in you. That should always drive you to be great. And for me, that's not a. I wouldn't call that a foundation of being a masculinity for me, but is a key. Is one of my key one of the key attributes for growth. That's just a tough for me. Yeah. So you got on here, man. We already talked about knowing yourself, man. We already dove into that. So let's slide and end on like not end, but like come to an ending on your question you have here of what is our refuge? What is the thing we can cling to? What is the thing that covers us? What is that for you? What should it be for others? How do we take this sphere of black masculinity and protect it and grow it and nourish it and make it change the light that is viewed in? How do we do it?
For me, it would start in. It would start with being, or let me change that. It would start with recognizing and valuing the fact and valuing the greatness of me as a black man. I think when I was watching Malcolm X, I think the most powerful thing in that movie, which I think Denzel should have still won an Oscar for. They should give him a post production Oscar for. He said, "I'm a black man." The power in which he said that, "I'm a black man," like he's like, "I'm a black man," like, and it was that speech just made you feel like there was an honor in being that. I think we have to establish the honor of who we are, whether we know it or not, right? Whether we know the value or not, just loving and establishing the honor of who we are as simply a black man is where you start. Then we can start pulling together the other parts to be able to say, hey, we're going to take back the definition of our masculinity from here. This is what it means to us. This is what it means to us. But we have to value who we simply are as a black man first, in my opinion. I think so. So for so many decades, centuries, that has been devalued. And so we have to value that again so that we can prevent and block others from defining what's masculinity for us. And so that's where I stand with it.
And to piggyback off you a little bit here, that doesn't mean to be combative,
Yes.
right? What that means is to be willing to die on that hill.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you have to argue and fight with everybody about this. You can just stand on the fact that I'm a black man. This is what I believe, and I'm not budging. I'm not fighting with you about what it means to be a black man. I'm not going back and forth with you. I live this life. That doesn't mean you go. I hear so many people especially when it comes to police and stuff like that, and police brutality and things like that. Now sometimes you just see people on video. They just want you to come at me because I'm black, but they want to just go at the police. You don't gotta be combative with the police. You can just say, I'm a black man. These are my values. I'm not finna yell at you, officer. I'm not finna do that. But this is what I believe, and I'm willing to die on that hill.
Yeah.
This is what I believe is about. And I just said police officer as an example, but I mean with employers, with other black males, with whoever, right? With women who are. This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die on this hill because this is what I believe, and this is what I believe is going to help this community of black men to grow to be who we were always meant to be. Like, don't always take a situation as I need to fight. It's not always a fighting situation. It's a hold your ground. This is what I believe, and I'm not budging. I'm willing to die on this hill of this is what I believe black masculinity is, and I'm not budging. I'm not fighting with you either, but I'm not budging.
But it goes back to what I said before, kid. It's not even about this is what black masculinity is for me. It's I'm being true to myself. I don't care what culture you're a part of. To thine own self be true. Right? Stand on it. That's who you are. Stand on it. Let nobody question that. Right? They can question your approach, what you do, all your actions, but who you are as a man or as a woman or as a person is based on you being true to who you are. And you can't let anybody else define that. Only you can define that. And when we talk about cultural definitions, only you, as part of that culture, as part of the community, can define that. Who am I to tell you what this means to you and your culture? Right? Who am I? I wouldn't dare do that.
Great.
What you should be doing is what I try to do is learn about the cultures, learn about the cultural experiences and how it plays a part in the ways why people do things, so that I can help understand and not disrespect or dishonor cultural precedences of other cultures. But you, in order to do that, you have to stand true. And so I just think people got to get away of thinking that they can do that, but it starts with you being true to yourself and standing on it.
Great. And I would like to say to all the black men out there, start talking to your kids. Start talking to your sons about what this is and what black masculinity is and what your expectations for them when it comes to that foundational purpose of what it is to be a black male here in this society, in this world. Talk to your young boys and to your young girls, show them. Talk to your boys, show your girls, right? Show them what they need to expect from a black man. But train your boys in a way that they should go. Train them, teach them. But those baby girls, man, show them. And to all you men out there that black, white, or indifferent that ain't in your kid's life and haven't been doing what you're supposed to do when it comes to teaching them about certain things, and especially masculinity when it comes to the boys, it's never too late to start. Call your son right now and say, man, I just want to have a conversation. I know we ain't talk. First of all, establish that relationship back. and then start having these conversations. It's never too late to start having these conversations in your young men. I wish a lot of fathers right now, it was just a shooting today in Peoria by Mayo. I wish a lot of these fathers nowadays would just say, man, let's talk to some of these kids. Let's just talk. Why? Why are you going around? Why? I'm sorry I wasn't there to show you which way to go. But guess what? I'm here now. Let's go. Like, it's never too late to show the right way to go and show these young black men what black masculinity is and what that foundation is and whatever your branches are to you. All right, it's never too late for that.
Agreed. So, yeah, man, I just hope this brought some life to this. Just simple fact that before I even go there, man, like, it's okay for others to have a viewpoint, right? If somebody else comes out with their own take on black masculinity, it's completely opposite of what me and Kev G talking about today. I'm not going to attack them. We can have a spirited debate if they want to. We can talk as men and women, and we can have it. But to attack, what purpose does that serve? Because Anthony Mack defines masculinity for his kids in the way that he does, right? And I think we have to open up our ears and listen to the message rather than putting the message in the context that we want to hear it or in the context that we heard it, right? Because that's how people took what he said, and that was the first time I've heard it. I didn't take that at all.
I didn't either.
I didn't take that at all. Like it didn't even come across my mind to take it in that way. So, if you're going to listen to somebody's words and their expression of what they believe about something, listen to it in their context. You can talk about it later and question and give your own thoughts about it. But we're in the world nowadays, kid, where the first thing we do is attack people before we try to listen and understand.
Yep.
We listen. What's that thing? We listen and we don't judge.
Don't judge.
So,
hey, man, and I want to end with just saying, don't be afraid to check people, especially if they're in your circle. My people I talk to, people we talk to in our circle, if I see them doing some grimy, definitely treating their kids a certain way, I'm going to call you out on it. I'm going to call you out on it. I have to. It's just in my nature and my black masculinity, my nature to check it, man. I just have to.
And I end with, to hell whether the people say, to thine own self be true. It's that simple for me.
Run up? No. All right, man. Black masculinity, man, that's what it is. That's what we believe it is. That's what we believe the history of it is and what it is now and how we can get back to bringing it, the positive aspect of it back into society and back into the world by having spirited discussions, right? And so you ain't gotta like it, but this TuVues, right? It's been a minute since we had two separate views. We got to get a topic where we don't agree.
We beefing.
Yeah, we gotta find a topic where we had a couple where we like, so not full topics, but just like parts of where we disagreed on. But it's okay for us to agree, like especially on a topic like this.
But even there needs to be some
unity.
Our views are still different. Yeah, and our views are still a little different.
Well, there has to be some unity. Like the black culture has to have some unity in this, right? And it starts with creating a foundation and checking people, right? And being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Right, so that's TuVues, man. We back. We're gonna be having some more that's gonna be hard to hear, but
we're gonna try not to fall off this time.
Coupon. What's something that begins with pork? The man said coupon. He said, huh? He said, huh? That man said, what's something you can do with your eyes closed? That man said, read. Oh, man, that was funny, boy. All right, man, it's TuVues podcast, man. We'll see y'all next time. KFG, Dr. Davis, we up out of here, man.
Peace.